Okay, well, it's been about a week and a half, and this is what it looks like now. It kind of looks gross in this light, but it's starting to heal up. It's not very sensitive anymore. You can really see that one area, especially where it was cut deep. There was another spot right there in the center where it was cut deep, and those places hurt so bad when I was soaking it in Epsom salt. But they're better now. There's still some dry skin. That stuff is supposed to flake off apparently, and the toenail is completely gone. It's supposed to take about 6 months to grow back, and my doctor told me to begin my Jublia treatments again already, so I've started that. We'll have to check in again later. I've just soaked it with Jublia. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. I treated my toenail for at least 3 years, probably 4 years with various treatments, and nothing ever worked. Before Jublia came out, I was on a different medication. I do not recall what it was called, but you put it on basically the same as Jublia with a little brush, and it had a glossy finish to it. And I tried that for probably close to 2 years, and my toenail only got worse very slowly. There would be times when I would think it was getting better, but then I would look at my toenail one day and there would be a big section that just released from the toenail bed. So it was very frustrating, as I'm sure you can imagine. And I did not take the pills, but I did take Jublia, and I took it for 6 months, and for a long time it looked like it was doing better. But then the same thing happened as with the other medication. I looked down at my toenail one day and just noticed that a new area of the toenail bed was starting to release, and it was very frustrating. It seemed like it was getting worse, not better, and that was after 6 months of use. The other thing I tried was the bleach treatment. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably read about the bleach treatments online, and I tried that for about a month. I soaked my foot in water, in a bed of water that was mixed. I can't remember the proportions I used, but maybe 10% was bleach. And I did that for a while, but I stopped, and I'll tell you why I stopped. I noticed that my skin was becoming very soft, like all the texture was basically eaten off my toe. And after a while, it became almost a yellowish color. Also, I noticed that my toenail itself was being dissolved almost completely away. It was very, very odd. It became almost paper thin, and it was sensitive to the touch. Not bad, but it was sensitive, and it just worried me what was going on with my feet, because I was soaking them essentially in acid. And especially when my skin started to turn yellow, I thought, well, I should stop doing this. And I was concerned with what would happen if the bleach actually completely got through the toenail, which it looked like it was very close to doing. I was afraid that would hurt extremely bad. I did not know. So after the bleach treatment is when I started using Jublia. Now, like I said, I thought the Jublia was working for a long time, and I wonder how much of that was due to the fact that my toenail was super thin when I started putting it on there. And with that in mind, I could imagine that it could possibly work, a combination of the bleach treatments and Jublia, because the problem with the toenail fungus is it makes your toenail grow in very thick. So I don't know if that's true or not. You might want to try it, but clearly I was sick of dealing with it because I had my toenail taken off. So I'll check back in a couple weeks and we'll see how it's doing. Okay, this is about 4 weeks into it. As you can tell, it looks a lot rougher than it did a couple weeks ago. This stuff here, the old nail bed, it's really dried up and little bits of it flake off. I didn't know it was going to look like this, so it surprised me, but that's what I'm dealing with. It definitely looks grosser now than it did, when I had a toenail, but hopefully when this stuff will finish flaking off, and it will look a lot better, and then the toenail will grow in. So I'll have to check and see in a few more weeks. All right, bye. It's been 3 months. As you can see, the nail is starting to grow back. That's what this here is. And to me, this new growth looks quite healthy, so I'm pleased with that. Most of the jagged material that was left behind on the last video, most of that is gone. And yeah, I'm hopeful this is going to work, so I'll check back in a few more weeks, or maybe even a couple months. We'll just see how it's going. Okay, I'm not sure how long it's been. It's probably been at least 8 months, and as you can tell, the toenail regrew, so success. Now I was thinking about would I actually recommend doing this, and if you haven't tried anything else, I would recommend Jublia or some other treatment. But if that doesn't work for you, this might really be an option, because it hurt extremely badly. I won't lie to you. There were several days where, especially when I was soaking it in Epsom salt, forget about it. It was terribly, terribly painful. But then it didn't hurt anymore. After a week, it didn't hurt, and so then it was just kind of hideous looking for a while, but you can see that it's actually healed all the way. So that's what happens if you remove your toenail. One other thing I wanted to mention was that if you do have this done, you may want to talk to your physician ahead of time and ask them to please be delicate when they're removing your toenail. Be as gentle as they can be, and try to encourage them not to cut any deeper than they absolutely have to, because I just watched the videos again, and there was a place right here and another one right here in the center where it was cut a little bit deeper. And my goodness, those areas hurt so bad. So if you can stomach the idea of having the toenail cut off, and you can deal with how nasty it's going to look for a little while, I say go for it. But leave your comments. I'll be interested to see what people say about this. So I really hope this helps somebody. Thank you. I didn't think to make these videos immediately after the toenail was removed, so I did want to show you one picture I took of my toe. I think this was the first day of the operation. It may have been the second day, but I wanted to give you an advisory. Viewer discretion advised. This picture is pretty gross, so if you don't want to see it, now's the time to click away. All right, thanks. But I can't leave you with such a sour taste in your mouth, so that's what it looks like now. It actually works. So you can tell that it went from very, very rough. My buddy described it as it looked like a piece of pizza with the cheese ripped off, and as you can see in that picture, that about sums it up. But 8 months later, I actually have my toe back, so there you go.